start again. It's a redskin.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Binky Bianca with some more blog talk. And today we're going to be talking about Rory and Mal, formerly of the Joe Budden Podcast. So yesterday it was announced through an article with Vulture that Rory and Mal have signed a new deal with SiriusXM Stitcher, and the show will now be released through Stitcher's new More Sauce label. Now, Rory and Mal had launched their podcast, which is called New Rory and Mal, back in July, and they are currently uploading all their episodes to YouTube and to audio platforms. So it'll be interesting to see what changes with that, if anything at all, according to this new deal. Now, we don't have any real details out there about the deal as far as how long the deal is, the contract length, and what the stipulations are. But we do have a little bit of information thanks to Mal's big brother, the famous Biggs Burke of Rockefeller fame. He actually tweeted a pic of Rory and Mal with a caption that said, "What a fresh 10 million looks like." So congratulations to Rory and Mal on their deal. I think that they deserve it. They have spent years building up an audience that does care about what they have to say and what they think when it comes to cultural topics, hot topics, as well as music, and putting people really on to new things. I know I found new artists based on their taste and the sleepers and things that they used to put at the end of the Joe Budden podcast. So shout out to Rory and Mal. Now, the article actually was also an interview, and it was pretty interesting. And there were a couple of things that I want to talk about that were discussed in the interview. Now, Rory and Mal did not bring up Joe Budden by name. However, they didn't shy away from answering questions that were directly about him. So I want to point out a couple of things that were said in this interview. So the interviewer pretty much starts right off asking about Joe, and he said, "I heard that Budden threatened to sue if the two of you start another podcast. I take it that's not an issue." And Mal said, "Yeah, no, it's not an issue for us. That's something you would probably have to ask him, but it would be very funny, and a lot would be exposed if he decided to do that." And Rory added, "That's not a route he would want to go. I can assure you that." So in my mind, when I hear that, I think that that means that a lot of information would have to be disclosed, probably through the process of discovery. They're going to have to open up the books when it comes to Joe Budden Podcast, to the Joe Budden Network, and possibly Joe's personal finances. And it would not be something that he may want to do. And that's all I'm getting from that. Now, this is all speculation. Rory and Mal did not say that, but there have been some allegations of some funny accounting in the past. So we will see, if Joe does decide to take that route or not. But I found that to be an interesting comment from the fellas. Another interesting part of the interview, Mal talked about character, and he said, character is character, right? If somebody is a certain way with other people, you can expect them to be that way with you. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just not your turn yet. Maybe that person hasn't been that way with you yet, but your time is coming. That was a hard pill to swallow at first, especially since we thought it was a real friendship for so many years. But again, character is character. I think that is an important statement that Mom made, because we could all kind of learn from that and apply it to our own lives. If you see someone that's always talking to people a certain way, maybe they're dismissive, maybe they're rude, maybe they're shysty with other people, and you've witnessed this, understand that even if you haven't dealt with it yet, your time is coming. It's gonna come at some point if that is the character of that person, so just keep that in mind. I thought that was an interesting quote that Mal had. They were also asked if either of them have spoken to Joe since the summer. Rory said, "I've run into him, but it wasn't really a conversation." Mal said, "I haven't seen or spoken to him since my last day at the studio. I'm happy it went that way, because if I had seen him or run into him, it would have been bad news." Mal is over it. He's been over it. And I think anyone that has watched how this whole thing has played out since the podcast basically imploded earlier this year very publicly, you will know that Ma has kind of had this energy for Joe. If you watched Rory and Mal's response video that they put out, where Mal had on that nice teal sweatsuit. He definitely has had this energy for Joe. It seems like he had the energy where he would throw hands with Joe in a second, and it probably is best if they just stay away from each other for the time being, and just move on. So they haven't seen him. I thought that was interesting to say, but I think another thing that we could all learn from this whole ordeal is just taking care of business. If you're going to be in partnership with people, just take care of the business. Have it understood from day one, how the money, whenever money starts to come in, how the money is going to be divided, how the money is going to be distributed and allocated, and what are the roles of everyone in the business and what is to be expected, because a lot of this can be avoided that way. I wonder what Joe's thinking about this whole thing, but who really cares? At the end of the day, this is about Rory and Mal, so I'm happy for them. Hopefully this deal works out exactly the way that they would like it to work out. The new arrangement with their podcast is slated to start on November 2nd with new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, so I'm anxious to see how that goes. What does that mean for their YouTube channel, etc. So shout out to Rory and Mal. Congratulations, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out my podcast, The Expendables, with my co-host in from New York. We record live on his YouTube on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will link his channel below in the description box. We also upload our audio to Apple, Spotify, and more every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for checking us out.